The only thing I can tell you is that Sarah had indeed changed. In your opinion, why would your mother remain in hiding over several weeks?
You must leave me alone now. I have agreed to everything, even to...
But you do realize your mother will have to accept the consequences of her acts.
I hope that your search will prove successful and bring Sarah back to us soon.
I'll be leaving now because whatever it is you're up to, I do not want to know.
Since then, we have become one and the same. We have officially erased the identity of my sister Emma. Emily Hillsborough, the woman with two faces.
Everyone seems to be a little unnecessarily heated. Don't forget where you are, please.
Louis, the conference is about to start any minute. This is not the time to be... Damn it. What's going on?
I don't know exactly, Mr. President. I was looking for my mother and I came upon this body.
My God. You don't think Sarah did it, do you?
Unfortunately, I'm afraid
How awful. What has your mother gotten herself into now?
If only I knew, Mr. President.
If no one saw you, I'd advise you not to get involved, Louis, so that no one will accuse you of the murder. Ah, darn, the conference is starting. Time is of the essence. Sort this out and join us as quickly as you can in the conference room. Everyone will be expecting you.
Mr. President, this is not really the right time, and I didn't come for that.
Your mother's seat cannot remain vacant. You must replace her while she's still missing. Your mother and I were to support Mortimer on this project. I don't know what the subject is, but the future of our countries depends on it. Given the importance of all this to Mortimer, he won't let the conference begin without you. So if you don't want more servants coming looking for you, I'd advise you to join us quickly and to put a brave face on it. The best favor you can do for yourself, Louis, and for Sarah, is to come and support Mortimer's project at the conference.
Look, I don't mind following you, but I should warn you, I have no idea what this is all about. So I can't make any promises as to what I might do. I shall make my decision after the debate, when the time comes.
Ah, very well. As you wish. You will see once you hear everything. But given the situation, I think you will have everything to gain by joining Mortimer's side. I'm going. Don't be long.
Tell them that I'm on my way.
An old blanket. From the looks of it, it couldn't have kept her very warm. Someone's made a fire here, and the ashes are still warm. If you're the one who did it, Mother, it couldn't have been easy with only one hand. I must have just missed her. If only I hadn't wasted so much time getting out of Lord Mortimer's study. leftover food. Ugh, not exactly fresh. Must have been here for a while. Oh, he's dead. What the hell's been going on here?
Let's see what secret's hidden under these masks. His face doesn't ring a bell. I'm a bit disappointed. Might have expected more from Lord Mortimer. Let's see what secret's hidden under these masks. His face doesn't ring a bell. I'm a bit disappointed. Might have expected more from Lord Mortimer.
Mother, if this is your doing, the situation is getting worse and worse. Well, the gate is locked.
Monsieur de Richet, you are expected at the conference. Please take the door to your left to join the guests. Respect to any other
Totally wrong, I assure you.
I have suspected it for some time.
That does seem the same.
Your conjecture is totally wrong, I assure you.
I have suspected it for some time, but now I am convinced.
I have already told her how
She's not acting by design.
A pound.
But with respect to any other characteristic, I do not imagine that much
I have suspected it for some time, but now I am convinced.
I have already told her so once, by your desire.
Are you quite sure, sir? Is there not a little mistake somewhere?
Yes, because she asked him at last.
A chest with a
and he could not
motif
help
representing the
answering her, but
alchemical
she said
symbol
he
of
seemed
water.
quite angry at being spoken to.
But it is not sound. You know it is not sound.
Your conjecture is totally wrong, I assure you.
I have suspected it for some time, but now I am convinced.
I have already told her so once, by your desire.
Are you quite sure, sir? Is there not a little mistake somewhere?
Yes, because she asked him at last, and he could not help answering her, but she said he seemed quite angry at being spoken to.
But it is not sound.
An old sesterce from Roman Gaul.
Conjecture is totally wrong, I assure you.
I have suspected it for some time, but now I am convinced.
It's very decided indeed.
Amber.
To nothing, you know.
Well, what I have heard is far more to our purpose.
I am astonished, my lord.
Allowing the case, however, to stand according to your representation. You must remember,
She's not acting by design, is she?
not as you represent it.
But with respect to any other leading characteristic, I do not imagine that much has been
Because she asked him at last, and he could not help answering her, but she said he seemed quite angry at being spoken to.
But it is not sound. You know it is not sound.
Your conjecture is totally wrong.
with respect to any other leading characteristic, I do not imagine that much
I am convinced. I have already told her so once, by your desire.
Are you quite sure, sir? Is there not a little mistake somewhere?
Yes, because she asked him.
Certainly, sir. Allowing the case.
Ah, Louis, I've been expecting you. Thank you for joining us. We are about to begin our conference. Let me explain what is at stake.
Thank you kindly, but what do you expect of me exactly? My mother's the one who's supposed to attend, not me.
That is indeed what was initially intended. Unfortunately, she still hasn't been found, and my guests can't stay here indefinitely. The conference must begin, and it would be truly beneficial to the Order to join in the project. Consequently, I would like you to replace her during her absence. What is at stake here is of the utmost importance.
It's important that the French Order gets their say. And should you need any advice, don't worry. You are not alone, Louis.
Very well.
Louis, let me keep you a moment. I would like to let you in on a secret before we begin, because I'm going to need your assistance. You see, the project I'm going to present concerns the territory of Louisiana in North America. It's currently Spanish territory, and I'm going to make the proposition to the Assembly for it to become French. My idea is to increase the territory of the United States. The first stone of this vast project consists of getting Spain to cede Louisiana to France. Once it becomes French, France will hand it over to the United States, which will then allow them to double the size of their territory. And that's where you come in. France and the United States, hand in hand, two democracies illuminating the world.
But why spread it over 2 phases? Why not announce the overall project immediately?
Unfortunately, if Spain were to hear that the intention of all this is to allow the United States to grow, they would never sign. Manuel Godoy is perfectly aware of President Washington's appetite. If the United States took Louisiana, Godoy would know full well that he will have lost the entire North American continent. Things must take place in several stages. Otherwise, the change will be too brutal, and he will have no choice but to reject the project. Take a look at them. Apart from President Washington, they all belong to monarchies. Do you really think they won't resist? Of course they'll fight, fearful as they are of losing their precious privileges. But the world needs visionaries, like you, like your mother. It's a pity Sarah isn't here to see it. She only knew about a tiny part of the project. I hope I can count on you, Louis. It's time to start now. I must ask you to keep it to yourself for the time being. Take a seat, follow the discussions. We'll have an opportunity to catch up later, and you'll be able to let me know your thoughts. My friends, I propose we get started. First of all, I would like to thank you for taking the time to come.
The honor is ours, my lord.
As per our custom, here we are all together to discuss the face of tomorrow's world. Even though there may be certain tensions between our nations, I must ask you to keep an open mind. As Sarah de Richet is unable to be among us, please welcome Louis de Richet, who will represent the Golden Order and will vote on its behalf when the time comes.
Welcome among us, Louis.
Welcome, Monsieur. I hope he'll be more effective than his mother regarding the protection of the King of France. The Order has proved particularly inefficient.
Come, Manuel, you're not going to spoil our visit. The Order's mission was not to protect King Louis XVI, as far as I am aware.
We are talking about a king of divine blood, for goodness sake. It seemed obvious to me he needed protecting. If the Golden Order wants to pride itself on being an influential organization, it should have kept him alive.
Thank you all. I am honored to be among you today. I will strive to represent the interests of the Order as best I can.
Perhaps we may begin, Lord Mortimer.
Certainly. I have a dream that our nations will continue to support each other, more now than ever before. A dream that, for the sake of common good, we will do what it takes to ensure stability in the modern world. I have a dream that we shall lead by example and ensure that the American territory may remain in peace.
Thank you for the thought, Lord Mortimer, but I don't see where you're leading.
I'm coming to it, Mr. President. I need not remind you that North America is currently divided between the United States on the east coast and Spain, which occupies the remaining 2/3 of the continent. Well, I propose that Spain cede the center of the continent to France, namely all of Louisiana.
Louisiana? But, well, it is not for sale. Lord Mortimer, I sincerely hope I have not come all this way just to hear you ramble on about what Spain should and should not do. When we went to all the trouble of gaining the territory a few years ago, it was not just to lose it today. Have I made myself clear?
What did I tell you, William? You speak of union, and yet here you are, about to tear us apart.
Duke Manuel, I perfectly understand you. But rest assured, you will soon adore my proposition. You shall see.
Well, since you give me the choice, my good fellow, allow me to doubt it. However, I am impatient to hear what Spain could possibly gain from the sale of Louisiana.
I never spoke of a sale, my good fellow.
What? But I do not understand.
There is one more territory left to conquer, if I'm not mistaken, in the northwest. It is, of course, occupied by your notorious Indians, but...
We shall soon be rid of the savages, so that is not a question.
Duke, these savages, as you call them, were there before you. They are on their homeland.
As much as the black people of Africa, Monsieur de Richet. That does not stop your dear France from massacring them and sending them like cattle to Mr. Washington's cotton plantations to provide him with cheap labor. So you keep your morals to yourself, if you please.
Senor, I would not like to be associated with that. The subject of black slaves in the United States of America is a complex subject, which we shall resolve at a future date.
France is not without fault, but that doesn't take away Spain's responsibilities. You see, Native Americans are being subjected to a veritable ethnic cleansing. Europeans are colonizing their land so that it then belongs to them. The widespread evangelization of its inhabitants will soon eradicate a multitude of cultures. You've done the same thing in South America. How far will white people go? Reservations to pin them in like cattle? Total genocide?
Come now, my friends, let us not digress. Anyway, these primitive people have no souls, Louis. We bring the good word to them in order to save them. You'll see, colonization brings with it many benefits, too.
Excuse me, if you don't mind, Your Eminence, I shall continue. Duke Manuel, I believe that Spain should cede Louisiana to France free of charge.
This is utterly grotesque, Lord Mortimer. What a strange example you set for your young protégé. Isn't that so, Monsieur de Richet? Do you understand anything of this proposition?
We are neighbors, Duke Manuel. Remember, your main rival in Europe is more likely to be England, who is plowing the seas right up your coastline. Hand over Louisiana to France and make her a prime ally.
Come, Louis. Spain and Great Britain are already allies and have nothing to gain by breaking their alliance.
Even if I do agree, Duchess, the omnipresence of the English fleet in Atlantic waters does not particularly please me.
I must say, William, I find your project mostly disfavors me. I thought you were my friend.
And I am, Mr. President. That is why I'm doing everything in my power to calm your expansionist fervor. France, in Louisiana, should persuade you not to attempt anything to take the territory by force. Louisiana is a vast wetland where you would needlessly lose most of your troops. It would weaken you and offer certain nations the perfect opportunity to take back your famous United States. I am protecting you from yourself, George. Trust me.
I understand. But with friends like you, sir, I certainly don't need any more enemies. I hope you know what you're doing.
Am I imagining things, or does it look like Washington isn't aware of Mortimer's plan?
Not to put too fine a point on it, Lord Mortimer, but I doubt the Holy See would be in favor of Catholic Louisiana being handed over to secular revolutionaries and king killers.
I should think Monsieur de Richet has an opinion on this subject, does he not?
Your Eminence, have no fear over that. I am sure France will do everything in its power to protect the Christians of Louisiana.
My young friend, how can you come out with such a remark after the discussion we had on the evening of your arrival? If France was so respectful of worship, it would not be bleeding priests as it is doing at this very moment in time. Don't be naive. This is politics. The Holy See must be concerned at seeing such a large territory falling into the hands of the French. Mi auguro che insegnerete l'educazione a questo giovanotto presuntuoso, Sir Gregory.
In any case, my lord, I doubt the English crown will agree.
Ich will sicher Ihnen, Emily, nie Preußen wird diese Vereinbarung akzeptieren.
Duchess, I am persuaded that we shall find a common ground.
That's enough, William. These are grave times. We don't care about the fate of Louisiana. That worthless expanse of putrid swamps interests no one but yourself.
Speak for yourself, my friend.
Hold on there, Mr. Royal Gigolo. Lower the volume, and let Sir Gregory finish.
Home, Godoy, and now Volner? Mortimer's adversaries are ready to tear each other to pieces, and he takes a malicious pleasure in watching it happen.
How dare you!
Gentlemen, let us try to remain calm.
There you are, William. See where your projects have taken us, as per usual. Chaos! That's enough. I'm tired. We shall continue this discussion tomorrow, but please be aware that your project will never be ratified. Those who are opposed to this project, follow me. Are you coming with us, Monsieur de Richet?
Come, Gregory, I think Louis would rather stay. Wouldn't you, Louis?
As for me, I think I shall remain with Lord Mortimer, Sir Gregory.
You are committing a grave error, Louis.
Time will tell.
My friends, I would like to thank you for staying.
Good God, William. What is this I hear about you reinforcing military power in Louisiana? I have no interest in having France for a neighbor, and you know that very well.
Calm down, George. Louis, explain our plan to Mr. Washington, please.
You see, Mr. President, Lord Mortimer anticipates that once France obtains Louisiana, they will cede it to you.
What do you mean? To us? The United States?
You heard right.
But
President Washington, the United States will double in size.
By what miracle have you...
You need to expand, George. You and France are the two major democracies in the modern world. It is necessary that you both become superpowers.
Are you really going to sponsor democracy throughout the world?
Of course, Monsieur Peru. That's why I don't want Spain to get too attached to those weapons. Please continue, Louis. Explain my vision to Mr. President.
Mr. President, Lord Mortimer intends for you to conquer all the North American continent. He's relying on you to not stop at Louisiana, but to continue to push west.
Indeed, it would be dishonest to pretend that this is not my final objective.
But why didn't you tell me before?
So that Lord Mortimer would appear to be isolated without support.
Exactly. You got it, Louis.
Lord Mortimer retains the advantage by advancing undercover, and for it to work, he needed you to act surprised.
William, you haven't changed. Always one step ahead.
1 step ahead? You're joking. More like 5.
On that note, my friends, it's getting late. Mr. President, continue to take offense over my project when we resume the conference in the morning. You do it to a T. And if Sir Gregory has the audacity to send you an emissary to convince you to go against me, do me a favor. String him along if you can. The more they believe we are divided, the more we'll have our hands free.
Only too happy to oblige.
Now, let us get some rest. We've got a big day tomorrow. Good night, gentlemen.
Good night.
Louis, if you have a minute, I would like to ask a favor of you. I'm going to require your services.
How can I be of help? Tell me all about it.
Our adversaries are many, and the closing vote of the conference will soon be upon us. Time is of an essence, so I'll need you to assist me this evening.
How can I help?
I need you to go this very evening to persuade Signor Godoy to join us. He is the backbone of Gregory's resistance. Turn him round, and all the others will follow in such a stampede that Gregory will be able to do nothing but admit defeat.
Lord Mortimer, with all due respect, don't you think I'm the last person Godoy wants to talk to?
I'm sure you can do it. I believe in you.
If you believe that's the best way, then...
Nevertheless, I wouldn't bring up all the habits and customs of the court with him too much. I sense he's on edge at the moment. I doubt he'll be able to abide by the rules of etiquette that befit his rank.
Thanks for the advice.
However, it must be done for the conference tomorrow morning. It's important, Louis.
I'll go straight away.
Thank you, my boy. And get some rest afterwards. Big day tomorrow.
Chest with the occult symbol representing air. Hey, Peru's name tag's fallen off, and his door's ajar. The Beaucaire dinner. It hasn't been signed yet, but there's a letter with it. So, Bonaparte is going to publish a book that he didn't write. That crafty little rascal. Monsieur Johann von Wulner. President George Washington. Monseigneur, His Eminence Cardinal Piaggi. Huh, that's me. Duke Manuel Godoy.
Ah, Monsieur de Richet. You wouldn't have seen Duke Manuel by any chance, would you?
I was going to ask you the same question.
I wanted to speak to him, but no one will open the door. I'm not sure he's in there.
If I want to pass through, I'll have to get Volner out of the way.
I've searched all over the manor, but I can't find him.
One thing's for sure, Monsieur de Richet. He's neither in his room nor on this floor. I've just looked all over.
I propose we both look for him. The first to find him tells the Duke that the other is also looking for him. Agreed?
Perfect. Let's do that. I shall have a look in the library. If you find the Duke before me, tell him I want to speak to him.
Yes. Let's proceed as you say.
Thank you, Monsieur de Richet.
Right. Now be a good boy and go look somewhere else. Carmelite water. Manuel Godoy, a painting of himself in his room. Now that's not going to help him develop a sense of modesty. Don Quixote. Talking without thinking is like shooting without taking aim. Prometheus, punished for stealing fire from the gods and giving it to man. Mary Louise of Parma. How ironic having a painting of the Queen of Spain in one's room, my Lord Duke. Hey, it looks like someone slipped something in the back here. It's a letter. Let's see what it says. It reeks of perfume, and it's written in Spanish. Godoy, you really are a little devil.
A Bazant. Devil's Thorn.
Amber.
Devil's Thorn.
What can I do for you, sir? I am at your service, day and night, sir.
Have you seen Duke Manuel?
The Duke is in the dining room, sir.
I would like to come in.
I am sorry, sir, but that is not possible for the moment.
I'm looking for someone. Tell me at least who's in there so I don't needlessly go looking around for hours.
Duchess Hillsborough is speaking with Sir Gregory, sir. The other guests have gone back to their rooms through the other side.
Can you tell me where I can find Duke Manuel, please?
Alas, I do not know, sir. I can only assure you he is not in the small salon.
Very well. Thank you.
Good evening, sir.
Lord Mortimer certainly has a taste for staging rooms.
Duke Manuel?
Well, well. Monsieur de Richet, I was not expecting you. I am not in the mood, sir, I warn you. What do you want from me, sir?
I see you're still feeling under pressure. Since your arrival, I've noticed that you've been on the defensive. It seems to me that Monsieur Peru has a knack for getting your back up.
That is the least you can say. Indeed, I was warned. I knew what to expect. For God's sake, why in the hell did your people execute their king? Have the French gone stark raving mad? There are nothing but monarchies in power in Europe. They will all come crashing down on you.
We shall see. It might, well, turn out to be the opposite.
You certainly do not lack for audacity, young man. Just tell me one thing, monsieur. Why did you side with Mortimer? He is alone, isolated. The United States can do nothing to help you, and France is surrounded by over 10 countries just waiting for the word to pounce. Really, I do not see why you choose Mortimer.
But, monsieur, just think about it. It will enable the United States to become a giant democratic state. What a message for the rest of the world.
We will shove your damn democracy down your throat, Richet. I will raise the whole of Europe against you. Tell me, do you really believe Spain has any interest in ceding Louisiana to France?
My Lord Duke, you know as well as I do that our common enemy is and will always be England. I don't believe you look favorably at its embargo on France. Its ships cross the Atlantic Ocean right up to your coastline.
Do not even mention it. If those tea drinkers try anything in these waters, I will send the whole of the Spanish fleet to calm them down. Tell me one last thing. What would I gain from all this?
My Lord Duke, in these uncertain times, I believe it would be to your advantage to be rid of Louisiana in order to focus your attention on your colonies in the south. It will show the court the man you really are and how much you truly deserve your position.
And it will silence all the jibes and jeers aimed at my person. Then people would only see me as the man who consolidated the frontiers of the Spanish Empire.
What a statesman you are.
Come on, you fool, give it up. You're trapped like a rat.
Monsieur, I am astounded. I did not think you capable, but you have succeeded. I will be more wary of you the next time. Nonetheless, if you can guarantee Lord Mortimer's support, then yes, you can count on my vote when the time comes. However, I expect you to be discreet with regard to my former partners, without which our agreement will become null and void.
Of course, my Lord Duke. You can count on me. Lord Mortimer will be delighted to hear the news.
I hope you know what you are getting into, Louis. I bid you good luck.
Good night, my Lord Duke.
See you tomorrow. Well, that's one thing out of the way. The only thing left to do is wait for the conference to resume tomorrow morning. Monsieur Johann van Vulner. President George Washington. Monseigneur, His Eminence Cardinal Piaggi. Huh, that's me.
Good evening, Monsieur le Français.
Duchess, you're here. What a charming surprise. I'm beginning to think you can't be without me.
You have managed to penetrate my armor, sir. Am I disturbing you, perhaps?
That's not what I said.
Ah, by the way, you surprised me during the conference.
Why's that?
Well, you are going to lose. Why stay with Lord Mortimer?
I believe he has every chance of winning.
My, you are a rash one. However, if ever you want to change sides, please feel free to let me know.
But tell me, you didn't come here to try and make me change my mind, did you?
That's the last thing on my mind, although you would have everything to gain by it.
There's no point trying to persuade me. Don't hold it against me.
Of course not, silly. Louis, if you trust me, you ought to ask yourself why I have chosen home. You do trust me, don't you?
Of course, Emily.
Admit, though, that it does make you think. There's still time, you know. Join us before it's too late.
Unfortunately, my word is my bond. I don't want to leave Lord Mortimer in the lurch.
Very well, as you wish. It's up to you to decide.
Tell me, are these visits to Mortimer's always so intense?
Yes and no. My sister doesn't normally disappear like she has. Any news of your mother?
Well, I should imagine you're still shaken. I promise to shed light on my mother's circumstances as soon as possible.
There's not much to shed light on. What your mother did is inexcusable. She won the trust of my sister in order to more easily betray her. She didn't do anything to her. Can we change subject, please? I didn't come here to go through all that again.
Of course, it's late. You're right.
Come, Louis.
My friends, do not worry. I assure you that Lord Mortimer's plan will never see the light of day. I shall deal with informing our allies, but for the time being, I need you to make a stand.
What do you think about Monsieur de Richet?
I don't know yet. I feel there's great potential in him.
He looks like he can be trusted. And Duchess Hillsborough, why isn't she here?
She's busy. Don't worry about her.
Oh, isn't it time to replace her?
Not so fast, sir. She is an important figure. You ought to have a little more faith in her.
What are we going to do about Washington?
He will be a hard nut to crack. On our chessboard, he is Mortimer's king.
Don't worry. Mr. President only wants one thing: to keep his dear America united. He won't jeopardize everything he has achieved on a whim.
He has been serving Mortimer for quite some time. It won't be easy to bring him around. Do you feel all right, Mr. Godoy? You haven't said a word.
Please excuse me, gentlemen. I feel tired.
Oh, I see. I think it is high time you left us then. Now!
Emily? Emily? Are you there?
Sir, the conference is about to begin. You are expected in the conference room.
Tell them I'm coming. Thank you.
Come on, Louis. The game is back on.
My friends, the conference is about to begin. Please excuse me if I troubled you last night with my project. I understand that you might well have a few questions to ask. As you know, the final vote will be cast in a few days. This morning's aim is to answer your questions and check the temperature of your respective positions so that we may reach a greater understanding.
As always, Lord Mortimer.
We parted in perfect disagreement, my lord. Where would you like us to take it from?
Come, sir. Please let William believe he still has a chance of winning us over. Otherwise, his imprecations will lack panache, and we shall be bored stiff.
Oh, let me reassure you, I am convinced that a good night's sleep has brought sound advice, and that this morning will be even more interesting. Therefore, I would like to go around the table in order to hear everyone's first impressions.
Well, I am still firmly against it, even though my choice won't count.
Against.
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 And you, Duke Manuel?
Well, you see, it is more complicated and it...
Calm, Gregory. Don't try to impress my guests, please.
They are not your guests.
Gregory, anyone under my roof is by definition my guest. You included. I would be very grateful if you would let my guests speak. Duke Manuel, you were saying you still had some doubts?
Well, you see, the situation has changed since last night.
What's going on here, my Lord Duke?
You see, I gave it some thought during the night. New arguments have come to light.
What do you mean, Duke Manuel?
Sir Gregory, I regret to inform you that Spain will not support you in this operation. I vote for. Moreover, in response to arguments brought to my attention, I declare war on France.
What? What is he doing?
If you think France is afraid of you, you are dreaming.
Over 10 nations rise against you, young man, and you behave like a yapping little dog?
When the French armies are at your door, my Lord Duke, you will change your tune. Well, as for me, I am for Lord Mortimer's project, despite Duchess Hillsborough's overwhelmingly convincing nocturnal attentions.
What? So Emily was playing at trying to win over guests last night?
It was nothing more than a friendly little chat, of course.
How could it be otherwise? And by the way, remember me to your husband when you see him. And you, President Washington, what is your position?
For, of course.
Well, that leaves just yourself and Monsieur Peru, Louis.
You're all making me sick. Look at yourselves.
What?
You are pathetic!
Have you been drinking or what?
There you are, quibbling away. My Lord Duke this, and Madame Duchess that. You know very well that we're nothing but puppets on a damn string.
Jacques, really?
Let's end the charade. It's over.
Jacques?
My lord, thank you for everything you've done for me over the years. But it didn't come for free. And now I see the price is too high to pay. I'll stop.
Come, Jacques, we'll talk it over.
No, I'm finished. I want my freedom back, my lord. I shall no longer work for you.
Wait!
De Richet, you just can't help it, can you? Stop trying to play the hero, man!
Jacques, everyone's getting a little heated, so let's take it easy a moment. You're not going to kill anyone. You're going to calmly put away your...
understand. I spoke to him only recently.
Monsieur Peru has lost his mind. It's obvious.
Yet another way for the French to make a spectacle of themselves. Well, once again, it has worked.
My friends, let us settle down, please. We are all in shock, of course. Let us praise Louis's gesture anyway. You did what you could.
Yes, it was very noble of you, Louis.
It wasn't your fault.
There was nothing else you could have done.
I think everyone needs a little rest. Can you stay a moment?
Of course.
Louis, I wanted to talk to you a moment about what has happened. All this is tragic, but I wanted to thank you for doing what you could.
I wasn't able to save him.
You couldn't, Louis. You mustn't blame yourself. It is not your fault.
Of course, but I thought I could help him.
I guess it was too late. Don't torture yourself. Look what you've done. I admire what you did. Who else among all these great luminaries of the modern world even raised a finger? No one. You were the only one who tried to do anything. What a waste.
What are your plans now?
What do you mean?
For the conference. After the disappearances of both Elizabeth Adams and my mother, and now the death of Mr. Perlu, I should imagine that your guests are all packing their bags.
This might come as a bit of a shock to you, perhaps because it was so difficult to bring all these figures together. But I am convinced that none of them is preparing to leave.
And you endorse that? For God's sake, that's totally immoral.
Morality and politics don't go well together, my boy. Like water and oil, they cannot mix. By definition, politics is not immoral as much as it is amoral. It must not take into account any morality that would constitute a hindrance. Otherwise, it could not be free to make tough decisions.
Do you realize what you just said?
It's a question of duty, Louis. Look, morality evolves over time and differs depending on the habits and customs of each country. It must not be a criterion. What we are doing here, Louis, will change the very face of the world. I'm not saying it's easy, but it is our duty. The future is in motion, and nothing must stop it.
If you say so. Allow me to take my leave, please.
Of course. You ought to get some rest. Oh, Louis, one more thing, please. I wanted to thank you for your support during the conference. You've made the right choice, and it gives me tremendous satisfaction to have you with me on this project.
And much good may it do you, my lord. But look at the voters. It needs to be unanimous. And we just lost Peru. The battle is already lost, if you ask me.
Trust me, Louis. We still have a few more cards to play. You'll see. Anything can happen in politics.
I'll see you later, my lord.
I already mentioned it yesterday. Either to you or to someone else. Impossible to tell with you people.
Yes, sir.
Your yes is not sufficient. Tell the others, for crying out loud. Remember to close my window once you've done my room. This isn't Corsica, you know. I'm freezing.
Monsieur Bonaparte.
Don't feel guilty over Monsieur Peru. You did your best. We just lost the vote for the next conference, and we already had fewer votes than Holm. I must absolutely find a solution.
Yes. Yes, indeed. But I believe if Lord Mortimer is still confident, it's because he still has a few cards up his sleeve.
I hope so. I sincerely hope so. Unfortunately, that vote of Godot you acquired is probably not going to suffice.
Well, it's still more than what you've done, isn't it?
I see you have a short fuse, monsieur. As someone who just started a war with Spain, if I were you, I wouldn't get on my high horse so quickly. In short, we haven't a minute to lose. I'll leave you now.
Just a minute. What did Duchess Hillsborough propose last night?
Oh, nothing worth worrying about. The pretty little pudding eater found no better tactic than to threaten me. She would have been better off sliding into my bed. At least we wouldn't have wasted part of the night talking for nothing.
Threatened you, you say?
That's what I said. I think I'm going to have to be careful of English troops crisscrossing the Mediterranean for a while. The witch would let loose the wrath of the English crown on my august person. But if she thinks that would scare a Bonaparte, she is mistaken. Now, Louis, time is running short, and as I said, I'm in a hurry. I have to go now. I will see you later.
Sir Jacques Peru?
I am sorry, sir, but you are unable to access Monsieur Peru's room while we gather his personal effects.
Monsieur Napoleon Bonaparte. President George Washington. A bicorn decorated with a cockade. It must belong to a French soldier. Monsieur Napoléon Bonaparte. Duke Manuel Godoy. Huh, that's me. Next time, I'll listen to my mother. Not a day has gone by without something happening to me. What now?
Louis, open up, please.
Coming, Mr. President, I'm coming.
Louis. Ah, there you are at last.
Yes,
I just saw your mother. She was accompanied by Emily, and they both went into the Duchess's room. I tried to join them, but I was refused entry. Louis, this does not bode well.
Oh, shit. Emily might want to avenge her sister. I must act quickly.
You're right, Mr. President. Thank you.
Duke Manuel Godoy. Monsieur Napoléon Bonaparte. Monsieur Johann van Vulner. President George Washington. Monseigneur His Eminence Cardinal Piaggi. Huh, that's me. Duke Manuel Godoy. Duchess Emily Hillsborough. I do believe that's Emily's voice. I can't understand what she's saying. I can't open it. It must be blocked on the other side. I'll have to find another way in, quick. Emily! Emily, are you there? Answer me. Emily! Emily! Emily, are you there? Answer me. Emily! I can't understand what she's saying. I do believe that's Emily's voice. To get inside Emily's room through the... Shit! It's locked. No way. It's too sturdy. My dearest son.
Damn it! It's closed. Seems like the key is still in the lock on the other side. That means I won't be able to pick it. Or I could do as I did the last time in the tower room. I wonder if I can get the key by pushing something underneath and making it fall. It's not a very complex lock. I'm sure I can force it if I can just find something to smash it with. Slowly, Louis. Nice and slow. I must act fast.
How could you do that to me?
It's as if there are several people inside.
Once again, you're the one who's the victim in all this. What are you on about now? I should never have told you what happened to me. That's how it works, and you know it full well.
A letter
I'm not
from
that
William
naive.
Pitt the
I
Younger,
know you
addressed to
inside
Emily.
out. Stop.
He's the present
We'll
Prime
end up
Minister.
losing
A letter
everything
from
we
William
keep on.
Pitt the Elder, addressed to Emily. He was the English Prime Minister. This letter dates from 15 years ago now.
What on earth is... You... Mother?
How dare you do this to me? You can talk. After everything I've done for you. You are joking, I hope, right? I gave you my life. That's enough, Emma. Now that Louis is here, you will leave Sarah alone. Cease your revenge immediately. What? If you think you're going to... Louis, help me, I beg you. I can no longer reason with her. I am Emily. Quit playing games. What? Honestly, don't be ridiculous. No. I am Emily. You are wasting your time. Louis knows very well how to tell us apart. After everything we've been through together.
Yes, well...
Don't you dare bring him into this. This is between you and me. I ask for nothing more, so stop taking it out on Sarah. You pretty little bitch. How dare you? Now that I've told you everything, you want to take my place, do you? You are joking, I hope. I'm the one who told you everything that's been going on while you were away. Go on then. That's what you want, isn't it? You want to kill me. Go on then, shoot! After all the trouble I've gone through to find you. Go on. What are you waiting for? Here, Louis, take this.
Wait, what's going...
An entire life for this. Go on, shoot! Sorry, Louis, I can't shoot her. She's my sister. That's enough, Emma. Louis, out of the way. She's dangerous. Don't trust her. What are you trying to do? Louis, out of the way. I am not Emma. Come on, Louis, tell her who the real Emily is.
Wait,
That's right, Louis. I'm fed up with this little game. Tell him who the real Emily is.
Why do these things always happen to me?
Well, Louis, come on, you know how to tell us apart, right?
Yes, but I'd like to ask you a few questions to make sure there's no doubt.
Rational and open, Louis. Let's see. How can I tell them apart? Wait, I've got an idea.
On the night of our arrival, you gave me something. I wasn't feeling very well, and you gave me something. What was it?
My handkerchief. And you even kept it. It was stained with your blood. Louis, I already told her. This is all a waste of time. I'm the one who told you.
Right. Let's find something else. Ah, yes. Let's speak about my arrival at the manor.
When we arrived at the manor, someone was already present in the Great Hall. Who was it?
President Washington. She knows about this part as well. I'm warning you. Obviously, I told you.
Very well.
Let's try something else.
On the first night, we went up to bed, but I wasn't tired. I went for a little stroll. Do you remember if we saw each other that night or not?
Not at all. Don't think you're going to get away with this deception so easily. I can assure you, you're going to regret pretending to be me once Louis has exposed you.
Right. I don't think I'll get very far like this. I'll have to find something better.
Oh, I don't think I'll even wait until he's finished.
Take it easy now.
Are you mad, Louis?
Lower your arm.
I better act quickly if I don't want things to get out of hand.
Come on, she's putting one over on you. Look at yourself for crying out loud. You were prepared to shoot me down.
In the secret room behind the study. Talk to them about what you've been doing. Maybe they haven't spoken about it between each other yet.
On the night of the disappearance of Elizabeth Adams.
What about it? What do you want to know about that night?
How did you vanquish the Medusa?
The Gorgon always attacks the best protected. The sword kills the monster charges the shield reflects the light, and the lantern perturbs the monster. I didn't need more than 2 minutes to solve that enigma. That's right. Make fun of us. That's enough! I've had enough of this charade. Louis, there's only one way to tell us apart. There's just one thing I didn't tell her about in detail. Too bad for you, Emma. I didn't want it to come to this, but you leave me no choice. Ask her about you and I. You just lost, Emma. I indeed didn't tell you everything about it. Come, Louis. Speak about our intimacy.
Very well, let's talk about us. Last night, we spent the night together. But beforehand, you insisted on talking about my choices during the conference. Why?
I beg your pardon. Louis, I did not go to see you last night.
What? Huh?
Now your true identity is exposed. What did you do? I didn't tell you everything, little sister. I never told you about this episode, so you know nothing of what happened last night between Louis and me. You dirty slut. What did you do?
That's enough, both of you. Now I know who the real Emily is.
It's you, Emily.
No, Louis! She is manipulating you!
No, Emma. It's her. I know it. Despite all the trouble you've gone to put one over on me, I know it is her.
That's enough now, Emma. You little slut! Don't think you are going to get away with this so easily. You are going to stop your little game right now. Never. I am Duchess Hills. No.
Emily?
I am the Duchess.
But...
You don't. Dear God, what have I done? See what you've done. See?
Louis?
Mother!
What on earth is...
Go away! You must go. Everyone is going to arrive.
Louis, what's going on?
Duchess? Is everything all right?
Come on, Louis! There's nothing more you can do!
But I...
Leave us.
Emily, what's going on?
Mother, go to the crypt. I'll meet you there.
I'll be waiting for you.
Emily.
Madam, I am coming in.
It was bound to end like this, Louis. Let me stay with her. Please. Go. I'll cover you.
My dear Napoleon.
Good God! They're all here. They must have heard the gunshot.
Where is Lord Mortimer?
Can anyone hear anything through the door?
Did you hear that? I was not dreaming, was I?
Certainly not, Duke Godoy.
What's going on?
Someone had the bang coming from the Duchess's room, and she isn't answering.
Gentlemen, go back to your rooms. Go back to your rooms. I shall find out from Lord Mortimer what this is all about. Thank you.
What can I do for you, sir? I am at your service day and night, sir.
As I was unable to bring my personal effects with me, I was wondering if you could find me a few items.
Of course, sir. What would you require?
A little Carmelite water would do me a lot of good. Could you find me some, please?
Oh, the tonics are under lock and key, sir. Lord Mortimer only allows access to them in cases of emergency.
Lord Mortimer certainly has a taste for staging rooms.
Louis! At last, there you are.
Mother, wait,
Come, we have to be quick.
No, wait, Mother,
Time is running out, Louis. First, we must...
No! That's enough. I won't go a step further unless you explain to me what is going on here. I'm begging you. Talk to me.
You must trust me, my son. You are not ready yet.
You're the one who should trust me. Tell me what's happening.
You would never believe me.
I came all the way here for you. Now I've found you. I'm ready, Mother.
If only. Louis, I have always taught you to keep your mind open and logical. I know you are going to find it hard to believe, but what I am going to reveal to you is entirely true. Many years ago, I found out that demons really do live among us.
I beg your pardon?
And that they can influence our thoughts.
Mother, listen to yourself. I know you're exhausted, but for crying out loud, listen to what you're saying. Demons? What next? An ancient monster with a head like an octopus? What do your demons look like? Have they got horns and a pointed tail?
No, these are not creatures with billy goat's legs. Forget your Christian folklore. Imagine them more as parasitic spirits. They possess their hosts and direct them from inside.
Parasitic spirits?
Yes, they are capable of going from one body to another as they see fit. And 2 of them are present on this island.
Right. So let me guess. Don't tell me. It isn't Volner and Duke Manuel, is it?
Don't talk nonsense. Both of those poor souls are mere pawns in the hands of the real players.
I was answering at random, Mother.
Do you really believe that I'm joking here? Many years ago, well before you were born, I crossed paths with one of them. Since then, I've spent my life trying to find it again. When we recovered the Alizif, I was persuaded that von Burchard was working for this demon in one way or another. But I thought he would hand the book to a middleman during this conference. That's where I made an error that could well turn out to be fatal. The one who Burchard was meant to give the book to was none other than the demon in person, Mortimer. Not to mention that Holm had sent Volner to get it for him.
Holm and Mortimer are demons?
They both seem to disagree about many things, but I'll admit I never knew exactly why. There are many of them, Louis, not just those 2.
Mother, have you any proof to support any of this?
Of course, but you do too. You had everything laid out in front of you. Didn't you notice anything?
Mother, I shan't follow you down that path. I wouldn't be doing you any favors.
Logical and open, Louis. Tell me then, how can anyone own properties all over the world for centuries by always signing documents with the same signature?
Well, I can find 10 other explanations less eccentric than demonic possession, Mother.
How come the Mortimers have had only one male heir for each generation since the Third Crusade?
Forgery, family rights where they get rid of the daughter. There are dozens of less extravagant possibilities.
How could one man motivate so many future leading figures of the day on his silly island without anyone finding out about it? Even the Golden Order isn't capable of that.
Well, he's simply better than us, and he's welcome to it.
You refuse to open your eyes, Louis.
You've lost your objectivity, Mother.
I saw him.
What do you mean you saw him?
I was 20 years old. I was young and carefree. I traveled the world in search of adventure. In the Persian Gulf, we came across an ancient grimoire that became unlocked. Composed of 7 parts, each one was a book in itself, set in a sort of metal armor that structured the whole thing. When all the volumes were brought together, they formed a single book. On my return to Paris, I set to studying these pages. I spent all my days and nights studying them.
Oh, I can imagine you doing that.
But the writing was in a language I had never seen before, developed well before Sumerian in my opinion. So I got the idea to form a small occult circle composed of all the major names in the occult world to see if anyone else could crack it.
And you found no one.
And I found someone, Louis. I found him. Or rather, he found me. He was young, charismatic, he was flamboyant.
You mean Mortimer?
He was a veritable mine of knowledge. I showed him the book, and he was able to decipher a few passages. We spent several months together studying the pages.
He was already old in those days, wasn't he? So you recognized him when you arrived on the island, right?
No, he wasn't in that body. But I know it was him. I swear it was him. The way he spoke, his posture, a few of his intonations, his mannerisms.
Wait a minute. You were talking about 60 years ago. I've lost the thread.
Yes, sorry. He helped me understand certain passages until I realized that he only translated a few parts for me. But I had aroused his interest. It was too late.
How so?
I mean to say he manipulated me. He used me, and in the end, he stole the book with all its secrets.
Did he ever go to your place?
Not once. At least I don't think so. But before disappearing, he proposed a pact between us. He proposed that I follow him and let him teach me, allow him to bring me up.
And you accepted.
Please don't be stupid. You don't make deals with the devil. After that, I spent my whole life looking for him. 3 years later, in Berlin, I just missed him. In London, I lost 6 members of the order in a chase. In 1741, in Tunisia, I found a sect of fanatics who had crossed paths with him once. 1741, in Poland. 1749, in India.
8 years ago in Venice.
We agreed never to speak about what happened in Venice.
You agreed, and that was before you spoke to me about demons. Wait, the baby we delivered, you and me, that night in Venice, did he have anything to do with Lord Mortimer?
The child was his son.
We stole his son? Are you insane? I always thought we took him to save him.
That was the case. It was precisely to save him from his father.
Need I remind you the mother died during childbirth? What became of the child?
Later. For the moment, that is not the key issue here. Once we found the Alazif in Paris, I followed von Borchart's trail here. I didn't think it would lead me straight to the demon. It was careless of me. He toyed with me for a few days, until I caught on, until I saw him as he was. But he had no intention of letting me leave. We are all his pawns, Louis, and if we don't want to spend the rest of our lives turning round in circles here, we must absolutely get off this island. All right, can we move on?
Wait a minute, one last thing. I want to know what happened with Elizabeth Adams.
Louis, we haven't time for those details.
I'm sorry, Mother, but I want to know.
She was one of the receptacles for these monsters. I met her parents when she was born. One of the demons got inside her. The demon used her to spy on her father, John Adams. He is one of the founding fathers and vice president of the United States, you know.
Mortimer possessed her?
No, I don't think it was Mortimer. Her father, John Adams, hired me to tend to her, but the evil in her was too deep. In spite of the various treatments I tried on her, I never succeeded in getting it out of her. It's not something I'm proud of, Louis, but I had to try everything.
Mother, did you kill her?
Of course not. Don't be stupid. I had no interest in getting rid of her.
Good. I think that's about right. We shall speak about it once we get back to France.
Great actions for humanity have been decided by demons for centuries, Louis. They are playing with our destiny. We are their slaves. And it's time for it to stop. By the way, what was Mortimer's project at this conference?
He wants the United States to occupy all the North American territory. France should recover Louisiana and give it to the United States. In that case, the Americans would just have to push west to chase the Spanish from the continent once and for all.
And as Mortimer controls Washington, you may just as well say that it will put him at the head of a world superpower. We should do our utmost to put a stop to Mortimer's plans. But for the time being, there are more pressing matters.
Are you gonna tell me why we're here?
There. That's why we are here.
Reassure me, we aren't going to have to force that one, are we?
I don't think we're even capable of doing it. You're going to have to find a way to open it.
Why, of course. And what's inside?
Something to vanquish them with?
Perfect. So, how does it open?
We'll need several keys. I found a note from the architect who conceived the mechanism in Mortimer's secret study. We have to first gather 6 objects before we try anything.
Are your 6 objects the keys?
Exactly. We have the Clement III cross, the nails, the Gutenberg Bible, the exegesis of Judas, an armillary sphere, and all we need to match up the dates between the different calendars.
Why a cross?
Well, I haven't the foggiest idea, but it just so happens that's what you are going to use to activate the mechanism. I found the one Mortimer kept. It belonged to Cardinal Guibert, better known by the name of Pope Clement III.
Perfect. Where is it?
Unfortunately, I've lost it. When I lost my hand, I went dashing out, and it must have fallen from my pocket.
Remember, Mother. I'm certain you can remember.
Let me think.
You were running.
I was bleeding to death.
You remember the pain.
I thought I was going to faint. Yes, I remember. I don't think it can be far, can it?
Would you have lost it outside?
No, I don't think so. It must be in the area. I don't remember going up with it.
Perfect. I'll search the crypt before leaving. An exegesis. Anything else?
Did you manage to vanquish the Medusa?
To open the chimney? Yes, absolutely.
So you've already come across it. It's the Bible of Judas that is exposed in the secret room behind the chimney.
Why do they call it an exegesis?
Because that's what it is, and not an apocryphal Bible, strictly speaking. It's the study of a text with a summary, not an actual Bible. Anyway, well done for the Gorgon. You did well. You didn't get tricked by the light bouncing back.
Thanks. Do you think I can take it safely?
We haven't got a choice, Louis. Without it, we won't be able to work out this cursed mechanism.
Some nails?
Don't ask me. I'm not the one who made the mechanism, you know. When I arrived, there were already a few of them inserted, so I didn't have to worry about those. On the other hand, I remember seeing some in Mortimer's secret study, behind his nightmare.
In a golden cup? Yes. Yes, I saw them too.
Perfect. It will be easy for you to find them then. You need 3 of them.
Very well.
You remember what to do about the rollers. 1191 to enter, and 6466 to exit.
Of course. There's one in the portrait gallery.
That's right.
You still believe it's in the tower room, don't you?
I don't know. There is only one way to find out, though.
Right. I shall go and see. There's one in the portrait gallery.
Yes, but it's enormous. If you don't want to have to go back and forth several times, then I suggest you get a smaller one.
What did you do then?
I didn't think I'd need one. I started without one, and I lost my hand before I did need one. And you can see the result.
What do you mean by the concordance of dates exactly?
Don't worry about that. We already have them. They are written on the back of the message I just gave you. One last thing before you go. Be very careful. If you come across anyone, they can all potentially be spies of Mortimer or Holm. Don't ever confide in anyone because a demon can slip inside them at any moment.
Wait, not all of them though. Take Washington.
Especially Washington. He's been conditioned by Mortimer for years. Look at them, for crying out loud. How do you explain their behavior otherwise? The most influential politicians in the Western world gather together without the least protection, without a single aid to assist them, to participate in a conference during which the guests start dropping like flies. Me, Adams, Peru, Hillsborough. Look at the number of calamities that have happened over the past few days. And not one of them has asked to leave the island? Do you find that normal? You'll see. Go up to the manor to look for the keys, and I wager not one of them will speak to you about my being in Emily's room.
Do you think so?
Go on, you'll see. And come back with all the objects in one go. Time is against us. And remember, the code to get out of the secret office is 6646.
There's definitely an armillary sphere, but I have to find one that I can take with me. Otherwise, I risk drawing too much attention to my comings and goings. Now, where can I find a smaller one? Right. Let's see if the statues are in place yet. That statue is not positioned correctly.
Open sesame.
So that's Pandora's box? An urn? Mother seemed worried that I was able to open it. I wonder why. Never mind. Now it's too late. The Ring of the Nibelungs. Even if Mortimer is several centuries old, I don't see what part he has in this legend. Given all the relics preserved here, it wouldn't surprise me if Mortimer claimed it was Excalibur. So that's the exegesis of Judas. I hope Mortimer doesn't read it very often, otherwise he's going to notice that someone's stolen it. But that's just too bad. I need it. Caesar's laurel wreath. If Mortimer really is what my mother says he is, it could mean... No, that's impossible. No, not Caesar. Right. I've got what I need. Now let's not waste any more time.
Right. This time, it'll be a lot quicker. If I remember rightly, the code was 1191. Of course. Weaknesses of the Human Psyche by Gilhelm Trimor. Gilhelm Trimor. Trimor, an anagram of Mortimer. Wow. Arrogant enough to publish writings on mental control in full view of everyone. I wonder who he's writing for. It's locked. Looks like obsidian or onyx. It must weigh a ton. What on earth could that be? Feathers, pigeons probably. A hand of tarot cards. The Emperor, a symbol of power and stability. Temperance, which expresses a reward. And the Chariot, now that evokes triumph. If this hand is anything to go by, Mortimer's destiny promises to be glorious. There! Those are the nails I was looking for. Microscope? The most sophisticated microscope there is. When I think of the difficulty the Order had in getting hold of one of these... All right, come on. Let's get out of here. 6466, if I remember correctly. A painting. It looks unfinished. A piece by Lord Mortimer, I presume. A rather avant-garde technique. The Titan against men. How ironic.
Ah, Louis. Glad you're here.
Blasted. He's gonna talk about my mother.
Come and see what I've found. There are pieces of paper in the ashes of the chimney. Someone's been burning something here.
Incredible. He doesn't seem to want to speak to me about what happened between my mother and the Hillsborough sisters.
Show me a little.
Look, it's possible to distinguish two different writing styles.
The rest of the correspondence between my mother and Emma.
Someone tried to burn an exchange of messages. I'm certain. There must be more.
Shit. What on earth is he doing?
If you want my opinion, a servant must have burnt some old papers. That's all.
Why, of course. You very nearly made me think that you were trying to hide something, Louis. No, I'm sure there must be other hidden messages.
He won't let go. He's going to work his way back to the Bible if he continues.
Dante's Paradise.
Raise your head and be reassured. For what comes up here from the mortal world must ripen in our rays. Chest with the occult symbol representing air. The Bible's still there.
Monsieur Napoleon Bonaparte. Huh, that's me. Inferno by Dante. Abandon hope, all ye who enter here. Lovely lectures Mortimer's giving to his guests. Very jolly. Saint Jerome and the Angel. Yet again, art with political undertones, Saturn devouring his son. Again? I saw the same theme in the hall. I wouldn't like to be his son. Inferno by Dante. Abandon hope, all ye who enter here. Lovely lectures Mortimer's giving to his guests. Very jolly. The torture of Ixion, condemned by the gods to lose his mind because of his arrogance.
Dear Monsieur de Richet, please excuse me, but I am unable.
Inspiration of St. Matthew, or Matthew writing his gospel, dictated to him by voices.
There's the alchemical symbol of the earth on the lid.
Song of Roland. Roland feeleth his death is near, his brain is oozing by either ear. With his brain oozing, it's already remarkable that he can feel anything.
Right. It's definitely an armillary sphere, but I have to find one that I can take with me. Otherwise, I risk drawing too much attention to my comings and goings. Now, where can I find a smaller one?
Byzant from the Byzantine Empire, a coin often used during the St. Louis era.
Atrus, the Miller brothers. Mother expressly forbade me from reading it.
Romney painted Lady Hamilton as Circe. Discourse on the Method by Descartes. This book changed the way I looked at the world. Greek drachma, one of the rare ancient coins to be mentioned both in the Bible and in the Quran. Lord Mortimer certainly has a taste for staging rooms. A Chinese coin.
God damn it, Orishi! Are you joking or what? You sell me pipe dreams about Mortimer's project, and a few hours later, one of your allies completely breaks down. Is this what Mortimer's side is all about? What am I going to do now?
Oh, there's no need to get on your high horse. We have both had our share of little surprises. You didn't warn me that you were going to declare war, now did you?
Yes. No, but
No one could have predicted that Peru would react like that. Now what's done is done. It makes no difference to us.
What can I do for you?
I'm dreaming. My mother was right. He's not going to tell me one word about what happened to Emily.
To tell you the truth, I'm in search of an armillary sphere. You wouldn't know where I can find it, would you?
Well, well. So you do have a passion for astronomy. Von Wollner has already bored me quite enough with all of his endless stories. You ought to concentrate, Louis. Politics is an art that requires all one's attention. Refrain from spreading yourself too thin, and leave stargazing to the poets.
What can I say? I'm only...
Ask Wollner. I am sure he must have it among his effects.
Perfect.
Thank you, my Lord Duke.
Leave me now.
See you later.
What can I do for you, sir? I am at your service day and night, sir.
Yes. Can you briefly describe the ground floor, please?
Very well, sir. On the ground floor, there are mainly living rooms. Sir finds himself at present in the Grand Hall. From the Grand Hall, Sir can access, on one side, the small salon where the guests like to relax with a good book. From there, Sir can access the conference room, which is closed at present for preparations. That is where Lord Mortimer likes to gather all of his guests for talks. From the other side of the Grand Hall, Sir may access the dining room. That is where Sir's meals will be served. From the dining room, Sir may benefit from an exceptional view overlooking the island. It is also the best way to access the portrait gallery, where a large part of Lord Mortimer's works are exhibited. And in the gallery, Sir will also find access to the garden. But Sir may be reassured the building is accessible on both sides, so that it surrounds the garden in question. So, Sir should not find cause to worry. No one has ever gotten lost.
Except for my mother.
Has Sir another question?
A ruble.
see if I can work it out myself. It looks like a kind of control panel.
There's a cross-shaped slot there. I'd say you've got to place a Claymore the Third cross in it. It looks like certain mechanisms I've seen before. I wouldn't be surprised if I had to put the Claymore the Third cross in it.
Tell me, Mother, you wouldn't know anything that might save me some time, would you?
That's where you'll have to put the Clement III cross. You insert the cross into the slot, and it will open the iris. You ought to go, Louis. If someone finds us here, the situation might well become seriously complicated.
Why a cross?
Well, I haven't the foggiest idea, but it just so happens that's what you are going to use to activate the mechanism. I found the one Mortimer kept. It belonged to Cardinal Guibert, better known by the name of Pope Clement III.
Perfect. Where is it?
Unfortunately, I've lost it. When I lost my hand, I went dashing out, and it must have fallen from my pocket.
Remember, Mother. I'm certain you can remember.
Let me think.
You were running.
I was bleeding to death.
You remember the pain.
I thought I was going to faint. Yes, I remember. I don't think it can be far, can it?
Would you have lost it outside?
No, I don't think so. It must be in the area. I don't remember going up with it.
Perfect. I'll search the crypt before leaving. There's one in the portrait gallery.
Yes, but it's enormous. If you don't want to have to go back and forth several times, then I suggest you get a smaller one.
What did you do then?
I didn't think I'd need one. I started without one, and I lost my hand before I did need one. And you can see the result.
Famous cross of Clement III. Perfect. And one key found.
You ought to go, Louis. If someone finds us here, the situation might well become seriously complicated.
Right. It's definitely an armillary sphere, but I have to find one that I can take with me. Otherwise, I risk drawing too much attention to my comings and goings. Now, where can I find a smaller one?
Dining on ham. Well, that's very appetizing. Lord Mortimer certainly has a taste for staging rooms.
What can I do for you, sir? I am at your service day and night, sir.
Dear friend, please come and join us. We must meet about the
Dear Monsieur Père. All right. I've retrieved everything.
The Battle of Alexander at Issus, or how Alexander the Great triumphed over King Darius. Yet another.
My dearest son.
My dear Napoleon,
A bicorn decorated with a cockade. It must belong to a French soldier.
Dear Monsieur Père.
All right. I've retrieved everything.
dear friend, please come and join us.
Dante's Paradise.
Raise your head and be reassured, for what comes up here from the mortal world must ripen in our rays.
An armillary sphere. Perfect. That will save me some time. I only hope that he isn't going to realize it right away.
Chronicles of the Amber Princes. As I recall, Dorkin was my favorite character. I have no space left. I'll retrieve it later.
What can I do for you, sir? I am at your service day and night, sir.
What is outside on the island exactly?
Lord Mortimer has made a point of keeping the main part of the island in its natural state, sir. For security reasons, only the wharves and the gardens are accessible to guests. If Sir would like to walk along the wharves, he has only to follow the pathway used upon his arrival. If he would like to walk in the interior gardens of the manor, I would advise Sir to pass through the portrait gallery. May I help Sir in any other way?
So, good. You've managed to gather all the keys.
Yes, that's right. I have everything. What should I start with?
Place the Clement III cross on the console. Then you have to put the nails on the disc of the door.
What hole should I put the nails in?
Well, I can't really advise you there, because I haven't exactly made the best choices myself. All I can say is that you have to insert 1 to choose a town, 1 to choose a chapter, and 1 to choose a verse. Those are Roman numerals on the disc.
All right, my turn now.
Go ahead, impress me. I'll shut up and let you concentrate.
This exegesis contains comments from Judas on the different Gospels. It only contains certain chapters and verses, and the chapters are indicated by Roman numerals. The lexicon refers to different chapters and verses from the exegesis of Judas. Chapter 10, verse 30. I and the Father are one. Chapter 10, verse 30. I and my Father are one. Chapter 3, verse 18. Words truly pronounced in Abagash. Chapter 3, verse 18. He that believeth in him is not condemned, but he that believeth not is condemned already, because he hath not believed in the name of the only begotten Son of God. Chapter 3, verse 18. He that believeth in him is not condemned, but he that believeth not is condemned already, because he hath not believed in the name of the only begotten Son of God. The cross is stuck in the mechanism. I can't do anything. The cycle of the moons has nothing to do with what I'm doing right now. The fresco clearly shows the birth of Christ.
Louis, I can assure you that that is not the solution to this enigma. This fresco's only purpose is to mislead. I know that now. Please, focus on another theme about Christ.
We'll have to trust her. Yes, it's definitely a representation of the birth of Christ, but some of the details have flaked away. I can't see any other clues. One thing is for sure, this enigma deals with the life of Jesus, like my mother said. It looks like there are 3 types of inscriptions. There are 3 styles of writing, and I've got 3 nails. There must be a link. I must surely put in 1 nail per category. clearly. We have names of towns, Arabian numerals, and Roman numerals. It looks like there are 3 types of inscriptions. There are 3 styles of writing, and I've got 3 nails. There must be a link. I must surely put in 1 nail per category.
It works.
Well done, Louis. I hadn't seen those other wheels. Try connecting the theme to see if it goes all the way.
There must surely be a connection between the wheels. There are different icons on this wheel, but it looks like some of them can't be connected to the other wheels. Now, given the difference between the number of icons and the number of towns, I think that only one path connects all the wheels with one another. Let's try to connect the theme I've chosen with the rest. It looks like there are 3 types of inscriptions. These towns have one thing in common. They're all related to the life and death of Jesus. For example, Jordan is the place of the baptism of Christ. Let's see what combination corresponds to the chosen theme. The moon's shadow moves from west to east. During new moon, the moon is entirely in the shadow. Then, the shadow moves from west to east, meaning left to right, and goes through the following states: waxing crescent, first quarter, waxing gibbous, full moon, waning gibbous, last quarter, waning crescent, and the cycle starts over with the full shadowed new moon.
I can feel the lever at the bottom.
Good luck.